have it not run the iOS's GUI system?
Oh.
Theoretically, I mean, if you...
Theoretically, and
There's
what
no-
the mothership
if-
allows
if-
are different.
Well, they could do that, I mean, because
What?
all the interfaces are public in the Apple iOS, so you could, you know, there's nothing that would prevent, it's like any development tool for...
You probably could, it's a matter of whether or not they would let you. Like, they still don't have another browser on their iOS, right?
Yeah, you do.
Well, how long did that take them?
Atomic, yeah.
Is that what it is? It's not Safari anymore?
Well, no, it's mobile Safari, but there's also Opera, there's Atomic browser, there's,
Yeah, there's several browsers.
But how many years did it take them to finally allow them to do
I
that?
mean, a while, yeah.
But this is
I-
talking
I-
about development environment.
theoretically,
Like, they
yes,
didn't
it could
wanna let
work.
you use like Java and crap like that, but now they've relaxed that somewhat for, you know, they're originally talking about not allowing any other development tools than Xcode tools.
Just don't use Flash. Don't use
Just
Flash.
don't use
Yeah,
Flash.
don't use Flash.
Well, don't use
Yeah,
Flash.
yeah,
This isn't Flash, so.
That's the taboo.
So, I
It's just a-
would think it would work, it's a matter of
But I
whether or
don't know
not,
if Qt has a port to that, is all I'm asking.
I don't even bother looking. That's my answer.
They have a Mac port, and I'm wondering how hard could it be that for them?
But from my understanding, the way the iOS functions and the way the Mac OS functions, and most of it has to do with the App Store and App Store approval, is what holds back most people from doing anything with it. I'm sure, like, theoretically and engineering-wise, it should be a piece of cake to port Qt to iOS. How that interfaces with launching an app, per se, I don't know.
I just didn't know if you saw anything on their site about
be
what
honest,
other platforms.
If
You know, or
it
does
says
it-
iOS
is there
on it,
Android
I've
for
ignored
it?
it.
You know, whatever, you know, any other embedded systems would be interesting.
Well, I know it works on almost. Again, I cannot speak for the Windows mobile phone or the iOS, but I know it works for all the Linux distributions. I'm pretty sure that it's pretty easy to work on Android also.
You know, there's a couple websites at least claiming it works on iOS.
So
So
yeah, so I'm.
That's why I was curious, you know, I haven't looked at the embedded issues for Qt, so.
Well, as long as it runs Linux, it can run. You just have to compile the Qt and all of its underlying stuff for that architecture. That way, it knows how to have your generalized API classes interface with the actual hardware. So, I see no reason why it couldn't. You have to have the ability to build for that environment. And I would have thought that iOS wouldn't have allowed that because you need access to the root kernel. I think.
It is included already.
Because well, maybe it doesn't, because it uses the hardware version in there. I don't know.
Thank you.
That's my best answer. I know for the embedded systems, though, they target the hardware. That way they have less obfuscation and less levels of indirection. So it runs quicker.
It'd be nice to have, you know, developed it in Qt and then be able to
Run it
push
on.
a button and run it on your mobile phone and on your
Yeah.
laptop and everywhere.
So, I can't speak for that. I know that the MeeGo operating system was supposed to be, in MAMO 5 was all written in Qt. And those, we don't know the future of anymore. So, which is very unfortunate. But we'll find out on Friday when Nokia probably partners with Microsoft.
Did you read the CEO's very depressing letter?
The fact that they're not
leaked
winning anymore.
Yeah, the leaked internal email from Nokia's CEO basically saying how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah.
You know, we're all doomed.
We're several years behind everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. We had awesome phones back in the day when dumb phones were cool.
They still have the best physical phone. I still hold that. However, they do not develop the best OS by a long shot. And I was really hoping this partnership with Intel would have changed that.
There were rumors that they might jump on the Android wagon.
There's also rumors of jumping on the
The
Windows.
Of the Phone
thing.
7?
Yeah, because there's supposed to be a joint press conference between Nokia and Microsoft on Friday.
No, Microsoft buys Nokia.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No!
If Microsoft phone fails,
No!
they're gonna buy Nokia, that would be sad.
Well, hey,
Well, that would be
Just give another
impressive, because
company.
Nokia's pretty big.
I mean, it's like Apple. Apple owns the hardware and the
right?
software.
Right.
Now Microsoft would own hardware and software
Yeah,
for
then
this.
Google buys too, you know, it's.
HTC, yeah.
Yeah.
HTC, I mean, I'm buying an HTC on Sunday. Because,
Yeah.
As much as I like that new Motorola Atrix, it's too new to do thesis development.
Good luck getting updates too for Motorola phones or rooting it.
Well, that's the other reason I chose
Yeah.
HTC is I was talking to one of their tech guys, and he's like, I'm interested in where your thesis goes. Please keep this ticket open. I'm like, okay. So, any other questions about Qt or like versions of using it, or anybody interested in having a little group on the ACM about a users group, or I keep track of the group, so if you have questions about it.
John, one quick question. Like for somebody who's in 240B or 240C or
Mhm.
261, what's the learning curve in getting started with
You
this?
really need to know how the STL works, so I would say it would be hard for somebody that hasn't taken C.
This might be something to do in the summer, not while you're
Yeah.
trying to do a class too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, we have a fair number of sophomores here this
Yeah.
time too. It's equal to freshmen. So yeah, it uses a lot of the versions of the STL that they re-implement. They also extend in ways that I'm very happy to see, but also having known how a computer works, it induces a bit of overhead. But each new version of Qt has been getting faster and faster and faster, so they're definitely working on the back end. And I would venture to say that KDE is now faster than GNOME.
Do you know if any games have been written with Qt as the front end?
Because they've got the OpenGL widgets built in, so it's.
Yeah, I would imagine. I had the issue with interfacing OpenGL with Qt that I described in the one class. So I don't know, but that's probably me not knowing enough Qt, me not knowing enough OpenGL to
Well,
figure
our
out what.
Roboca project had an
Hmm?
OpenGL. Our Roboca project OpenGL integrated. We had the display that showed where the vision system, the output of it, with the
Mhm.
robots running around in 3D. That was done in Qt
Yeah.
with a Qt front end and OpenGL window.
Yeah, no, I meant my interactions with
But so
BTK.
I think you could potentially use it to build games. I just didn't know if there any. Did they have any examples of games or 3D virtual worlds or anything like that with Qt?
Not that I know of, but the thing is it's going to want to have its sort of, there's a way of making the widget, a widget is how all the video or pictures are displayed, consume the screen. I think then, if you're using an OpenGL thing, you'll have to have your own menu-driven system. So at that point, I wonder what issues you run into, because it'll want to be the first thing that launches. The issue of it wanting to be the primary thing, yes.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think you probably couldn't use their inbuilt widgets and like lists and drop down menu boxes and whatnot as in-game. I suspect. I could be wrong. They could work as overlays, but I'm not sure how well that would work. You're going into a realm that I don't know a whole lot about, so I can't speak very fondly of it, or very accurately of it, because I have a disdain for video games right now, or at least development of them.
You like StarCraft?
I like StarCraft. I like playing games every now and then, but I really hate making them. So that's why my fellowship's awesome. Lev?
So, like you mentioned that it implements all the data structures from STL.
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
So that it works with all their ways. The code ends up looking a little bit more like Java at points than it does some of the other things.
But that's not a good thing, is it?
Wait. What, Lev? If you're going to make snide comments, please at least let me hear them.
No, so that's not necessarily a good thing.
No, no, it's not. But it's rather than running in a virtual machine, it's all built on C++. So it actually invokes the G++ compiler during it.
Oh boy, what was
Just as a design decision, why would they need to re-implement basic container classes? That seems like a bad choice.
There's conversions, they add a lot to them that help convert between their different abstracted things. So, it's a level of abstraction that I think they then are guaranteed that the way that STL in that environment is implemented is guaranteed on all of them. I couldn't tell you exactly why beyond,
But like Boost is another cross-platform thing that has containers that run everywhere. They could have built theirs on top of Boost
yeah,
instead of.
it could, like, it has GPL licensing on it, so they could use base STL within it. But to make sure that everything converts properly, like when you take an item out of a list, I think this has
The
it.
one thing I'd say is that does add to the learning curve, because you have to then learn how their containers differ, can be used instead of the standard ones that you're used to.
It's almost identical, but there are some extra functions. There are extra functions, but the base idea, accessors, getters, and setters are all. I have never had any issue
Do they
with
have
those.
iterators and stuff in there?
Yeah.
And all that, so yeah.
Like you can, like, when, let's say I want to add New York to the list, it doesn't necessarily copy this, it makes a copy of, it's a list object, and it makes a copy of it, and then that gets pushed over to that list format. So it's their kind of internal way of moving things around. Again, not a Qt core developer, so I could not tell you why they did that, but I assume is they wanted their performance and whatnot of certain actions that aren't standardly available in the STL. So they wanted to extend the STL. That's about all I can say. Other questions from not Lev or Dr. Shelburne? Just joking. Because there's pizza up here. I know you're all jonesing for some pizza. All right. You guys, yay.
Yay!